Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told Is podcast, the show where we like to dive deep into the lives of really fascinating people.
That's right.
And today,
Haha.
we are talking about Martha Stewart.
Ooh, Martha Stewart.
I mean, her name is practically, synonymous with homemaking.
Yeah.
But her story goes way beyond perfectly folded napkins and, those picture-perfect gardens.
Absolutely. It really does go beyond all that.
So to really understand Martha Stewart, the icon,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we need to go back to her roots.
Okay.
I mean, she wasn't always Martha Stewart.
Right.
She started life as Martha Costera, the second of 6 kids
Wow.
in a Polish family
Okay.
in Nutley, New Jersey.
Interesting.
And even though her parents were both teachers, her entrepreneurial spirit was evident from a very young age.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, how many kids do you know that were babysitting for Yankee legends?
Right.
Like Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Not many.
And not only was she babysitting, she was organizing their kids' birthday parties.
Wow.
It's almost like she was getting management experience before she even hit high school.
Yeah, like a little entrepreneur in the making.
And then she started modeling at 15,
Oh, wow.
appearing in TV commercials,
Ah.
and even landed a gig with Chanel.
Okay.
Pretty amazing to think of Martha Stewart as a high fashion model.
Yeah, it really is.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Even while she was striking poses for the camera,
Oh.
she was also absorbing those homemaking skills that her mother was teaching her.
Right.
Like cooking, sewing,
Uh-huh.
all those things that would later become so central to her brand.
It's true, yeah.
It's almost like all these early experiences were laying the groundwork for what was to come.
Yeah.
From her mother, she learned the art of, creating a beautiful and welcoming home.
Yeah.
And from her father, who was a passionate gardener, she inherited that love for nature and the outdoors. It's just fascinating how those, seemingly disparate threads just start to weave together.
They do.
And then her education played a crucial role, too.
Okay.
I mean, she wasn't content with just a high school diploma.
Right.
She went on to Barnard College at Columbia University
Wow.
and double majored in history and architectural history.
Talk about brains and beauty.
I know, right?
Wow.
And it was during college that she met Andrew Stewart,
Oh.
her future husband. Now, this is where things take an interesting turn.
Okay.
She didn't jump straight into the world of homemaking.
Oh, really?
Her second career, believe it or not, was as a stockbroker on Wall Street.
Wow, that's a surprise.
In 1967, she entered this male-dominated field and proved that she could hold her own.
Good for her.
And that experience gave her those valuable insights into the world of finance and business, skills that would later be crucial in building her own empire.
Right.
It's amazing to think about how those experiences shaped her approach to business.
Yeah.
And then after a few years on Wall Street,
Mm-hmm.
she and Andrew moved to Connecticut,
Okay.
and they bought an 1805 farmhouse
Oh, wow.
that needed a lot of love.
I bet.
That restoration project reignited her passion for homemaking
Uh-huh.
and set her on this new path.
Yeah, it's like it all kind of came full circle.
That farmhouse became like a laboratory for her.
Okay.
She poured her heart and soul into restoring it. And in the process, she rediscovered those joys of cooking, gardening, and, creating a beautiful and functional home.
Right.
And that's when her entrepreneurial spirit really kicked in. She realized that other people might be interested in learning from her experiences.
Right.
So she started a catering business in 1976.
Wow.
It wasn't just about making food. It was about creating an experience. She had this knack for bringing people together
Right.
and making them feel special through her culinary creations and her elegant presentations.
Yeah.
Word quickly spread, and her catering business flourished. And this is where her husband's publishing success comes into play.
Okay.
Andrew had published a children's book called The Secret Book of Gnomes,
Oh, I remember that book.
which became a huge hit.
Yeah.
Martha catered the book release party,
Uh-huh.
and that's where she met a man who would change her life.
Okay.
Alan Merkin, the head of Crown Publishing Group.
Wow, what a lucky break.
Talk about a lucky break.
Yeah.
Merkin was so impressed by Martha's talent and saw her potential.
Right.
He asked her to develop a cookbook,
Uh-huh.
and the rest, as they say, is history.
Wow.
Her first cookbook, Entertaining, was published in 1982.
Okay.
and became an instant bestseller.
Nice.
And it launched her into a whole new world.
Yeah.
Suddenly, she wasn't just a caterer. She was a cookbook author,
Right.
a media personality, and a rising star in the world of lifestyle.
It's amazing how one thing can lead to another.
I know.
Yeah.
But before we get into like her meteoric rise, let's take a moment to appreciate this pivotal moment.
Yeah.
This is where Martha Stewart's entrepreneurial journey really took off. She had a passion.
Yeah.
She honed her skills. She recognized an opportunity.
Right.
And she seized it.
That she did.
If you're finding this deep dive into Martha Stewart's life as fascinating as we are, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
You won't want to miss the rest of her story.
No, you won't.
Including her incredible business empire,
her
legal challenges, and her remarkable comeback.
All that coming up after the break.
We'll be back in a jiffy.
Sounds good.
But first, a quick word from our sponsors.
See you soon. Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told Us podcast.
Where we left off, Martha Stewart was like on the cusp of something truly extraordinary.
Yeah, she had that best-selling cookbook Entertaining,
Right.
And it was like a launch pad.
She wasn't content with just one success, though.
No, not at all.
She had a vision,
Uh-huh.
and she was determined to build a brand.
Yeah.
That encompassed every aspect of stylish living.
That's right.
And she did it with a level of sophistication and detail.
Yeah.
That was pretty groundbreaking for the time.
Right.
In 1990, she partnered with Time Publishing Ventures to launch Martha Stewart Living magazine. And it wasn't just another homemaking magazine.
No, it was more than that.
It was aspirational.
Yeah, it was like setting a new standard.
It was about creating a lifestyle that was beautiful
Yeah.
and functional.
Right.
And let's be honest, a little bit enviable.
Oh, absolutely.
She wasn't just showing you how to bake a cake.
No.
She was showing you how to present it on a hand-painted platter
Okay.
with perfectly arranged flowers
Wow.
and matching linens.
She thought of everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She was elevating everyday life to an art form.
It's true.
And the magazine was a massive hit,
Yeah, how could it not be?
reaching over 2 million subscribers at its peak.
Wow.
It solidified her position as like the ultimate lifestyle guru.
Yeah, the queen of domesticity.
But she didn't stop there.
Oh, no.
In 1993, she took her brand to television
Okay.
with her own show, also called Martha Stewart Living.
I remember that.
It ran for over a decade.
Wow. That's a long time.
And it was like having Martha right there in your living room,
Yeah.
teaching you how to do everything from arranging a stunning centerpiece to refinishing an antique table.
It's amazing what she can do.
She made it look so effortless. And she inspired millions of people to bring a little bit of that Martha Stewart magic into their own homes.
Right.
She was a true pioneer in lifestyle media.
Yeah.
And her influence was undeniable.
Absolutely.
And she was a savvy businesswoman. She knew how to leverage her success and expand her empire.
Right.
In 1997, she consolidated all of her media ventures
Okay.
under one umbrella,
All right.
Martha Stewart Living Omnimedia,
Or MSLO.
or MSLO.
Yeah.
And that was a game changer. It brought together her magazine, her television show, her merchandising lines,
Wow. Everything.
everything.
Yeah.
And in 1999, MSLO went public, making Martha Stewart the first self-made female billionaire
Oh, wow.
in the United States.
That's incredible.
It was a truly remarkable achievement.
Oh, it really was.
She was on top of the world.
Yeah.
Her brand was synonymous with success, style, and good taste.
Right.
But as we know, life is full of twists and turns.
That's for sure.
And Martha's story was about to take a dramatic turn.
Oh,
In 2001,
okay.
she found herself at the center of a major scandal,
Oh, no.
the ImClone stock trading case.
What happened?
She was accused of insider trading,
Oh,
of using confidential information to sell her stock in ImClone system
okay.
right before its value plummeted.
I see.
It was a huge story.
Yeah.
The media was relentless,
Oh, I bet.
and the public was divided. Some people were quick to condemn her,
Yeah.
while others stood by her side.
Right.
It was a really tumultuous time for her.
It must have been tough.
It was a real test of her character.
Oh,
She faced intense scrutiny,
yeah.
legal battles,
Mm-hmm.
and a barrage of negative press.
Wow.
And in 2004, she was convicted on charges of conspiracy and obstruction of justice.
Oh, wow.
She was sentenced to 5 months in federal prison
Okay.
and 2 years of supervised release.
Wow.
It was a devastating blow.
Yeah, it must have been hard to come back from that.
It would have been so easy for her to just retreat from the public eye, to give up.
Right.
But Martha Stewart is not someone who gives up easily.
No, she's a fighter.
She served her time. And when she was released in 2005, she launched a comeback campaign that was nothing short of remarkable.
Good for her.
She returned to daytime television with The Martha Stewart Show.
Okay.
She partnered with various brands to launch new product lines. And she even had a brief stint on The Apprentice.
Oh, yeah.
But that one didn't quite take off.
I remember that.
It was like she was on a mission.
Yeah.
To prove that she wasn't defined by her mistakes. She was determined to rebuild her brand and reclaim her place as a lifestyle icon.
Yeah.
And she did it.
She did.
She showed incredible resilience and an unwavering work ethic.
She never gave up.
She adapted to the changing media landscape, embraced new platforms like social media, and continued to innovate and create.
She was always one step ahead.
She never lost sight of her core values.
Okay.
Quality creativity and a passion for making everyday life a little bit more beautiful.
That's what people loved about her.
And that resonated with people.
It did.
Her audience was still there.
Yeah.
And they welcomed her back with open arms.
It's amazing how she was able to turn things around.
I know. It's really inspiring.
It is.
She proved that she wasn't just a one-hit wonder.
Right.
She was a force to be reckoned with. And she wasn't going anywhere.
And then what happened next?
In a move that nobody saw coming.
Oh, really?
She partnered with someone who seemed like her polar opposite.
Snoop Dogg.
I know.
Wow.
In 2016, they teamed up for a VH1 show called Martha and Snoop's Potluck Dinner Party.
What?
And it was a surprise hit.
I remember that show.
It was hilarious, heartwarming. And it showed a side of Martha that we hadn't really seen before.
Yeah, she let her hair down a little bit.
She was funny.
Yeah.
She was relatable. And she had this amazing chemistry with Snoop.
They were great together.
It was a brilliant move.
It really was.
It introduced her to a whole new audience.
Right.
And it solidified her image as a cultural icon who could transcend generations and genres.
Yeah, she became more than just the queen of homemaking.
Exactly.
She was a pop culture phenomenon.
It also showed that she wasn't afraid to take risks and try new things. And that willingness to experiment has been a key part of her longevity.
That's true.
She's constantly evolving, exploring new avenues, and pushing boundaries.
It's amazing how she keeps reinventing herself.
She's partnered with meal kit delivery services.
Okay.
She's become a recurring judge on cooking shows. And she's even entered the cannabis industry.
Oh, wow.
With her own line of CBD products. I know.
Oh, that's Martha for you.
From Wall Street to homemaking to CBD. It's been a wild ride.
It has.
And through it all, she's remained true to herself.
Yeah.
Her vision and her passion for making life a little bit more beautiful.
Right.
One perfectly arranged flower at a time.
I love that.
Speaking of beautiful,
yes,
she recently made headlines by becoming the oldest woman to grace the cover of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
Really?
At 81 years old.
Wow, that's amazing.
Talk about breaking barriers.
Yeah.
It was a bold statement.
It was.
That celebrated her age, her confidence, and her enduring appeal.
She's an inspiration.
It seems like she just keeps getting better with age.
I know, it's incredible.
And there's a Netflix documentary coming out in 2024.
Oh, wow.
That promises to give us an even deeper look into her extraordinary life.
I can't wait to see that.
Before we wrap up our deep dives into the world of Martha Stewart, we want to remind you to stay tuned for part 3, where we'll explore her personal life, her passions, and some of the lesser-known aspects of this fascinating woman.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcast. You know, we've been on quite a journey with Martha Stewart, haven't we?
We have.
From Wall Street to the world of homemaking, from the heights of success to the depths of scandal.
Yeah.
I mean, she's navigated it all with this incredible determination.
It's true. And you know what's really fascinating is that behind this, like, larger-than-life persona, there's this real person.
Yeah.
With her own set of values, passions, and even quirks. So for this final part of our deep dive, let's peel back the layers and kind of explore the woman behind the brand.
Okay, so let's start with her personal life.
Right.
She married her college sweetheart, Andrew Stewart, back in 1961.
Okay.
And they had one daughter, Alexis, in 1965.
Right, and their marriage lasted for nearly 3 decades.
Wow.
Which is quite a testament considering, the pressures and demands of their respective careers.
Yeah.
But they ultimately divorced in 1990.
And, even someone as seemingly invincible as Martha Stewart has experienced heartbreak.
No, of course.
I mean, she briefly dated actor Anthony Hopkins.
Really?
But things ended rather abruptly.
What happened?
Well, she said she broke up with him after seeing The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, wow.
She just couldn't separate the man from Hannibal Lecter.
I can understand that. I mean, it's hard to shake off those chilling images.
Right.
Especially when you're dating the actor who brought them to life.
Yeah.
But it's also a reminder that, even someone as strong and successful as Martha Stewart has vulnerabilities just like everyone else.
Absolutely. And, she later had a long-term relationship with billionaire Charles Simonyi.
Oh, okay.
Who was a pioneer in the tech industry.
Mm-hmm.
They even made a public appearance together on her show in 2007 when he went on a space flight as a tourist.
Wow.
I mean, how cool is that?
That's pretty amazing.
It shows that she's drawn to interesting and accomplished people.
Yeah.
But their relationship eventually ended in 2008.
Okay.
And throughout her life, one of the constants has been her love for animals.
Oh, yeah. She's a big animal lover.
She's known for having a whole menagerie of pets.
Like what?
Champion show dogs,
Okay.
cats, pony, even Frisian horses.
Wow, that's quite the collection.
It's endearing, really.
It is.
It shows this softer side to this powerhouse personality.
Yeah.
She's not just a CEO or a media mogul.
Right.
She's a woman who finds joy and companionship in the company of animals.
That's sweet.
And speaking of endearing qualities, I came across this little anecdote that I just had to share.
Right. What is it?
Apparently, she was once approached to be the face of a major margarine brand.
Okay.
You know the kind that tries to convince you it tastes just like butter?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, she turned them down flat.
Really?
She said she would only endorse a product that she genuinely used and believed in. And she was a firm believer in real butter.
Oh, wow.
No substitutes for Martha.
That's classic Martha.
Yeah.
It speaks to her integrity and her commitment to quality.
Yeah.
She's not willing to compromise her values for a quick buck, and I think that's something people really admire about her.
It's those little details that really round out her character.
We do.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Martha Stewart, what stands out to you?
That's a good question.
What's like the one thing you'll take away from her story?
For me, it's her resilience.
Okay.
She's faced setbacks, she's made mistakes, but she's never let those define her. She's always gotten back up, dusted herself off, and come back stronger than ever.
Yeah.
That's a powerful lesson for all of us, I think.
I completely agree. And it's also her unwavering commitment to her vision. She's been called a perfectionist, a control freak.
Right.
But I think it's that attention to detail, that striving for excellence that has made her so successful.
Yeah, and she's never been afraid to evolve, to try new things, to push boundaries. That's what keeps her relevant and keeps her audience engaged.
She's a true original.
Yeah.
A trailblazer.
She is.
And her story's far from over.
That's right.
I can't wait to see what she does next.
Me too.
And for those of you listening,
yeah,
I encourage you to dig deeper into Martha Stewart's world. Explore her books, her magazines, her shows.
It's a whole world.
You might be surprised by what you discover.
You might.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
We hope you enjoyed our exploration of Martha Stewart's extraordinary life.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
It's been a fascinating journey, and we've learned so much along the way.
We have.
Thanks for joining us on Tell Me More Stories Told This podcast.
Yeah.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the life of a fascinating figure.
We will.
Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep telling your own stories.
See you next time.